All right, everyone, we are live. Welcome back to ChatLoopBackOff. We're talking about SOPS today. Take it away, Mr. Host.
Yeah, thank you very much, George. Um, yeah, welcome everyone. My name is Koray. I work for Kubernetes and doing Kubernetes related stuff as a consultant, also doing trainings there. Um, I've been on the cloud native side for the last 5, 6 years, I would say. Um, And yeah, so I am a CNCF ambassador since this year. And I'll be hosting this episode for ChatLoopBackOff, and we'll talk about SOPS project. Um, because this is not interactive, I will just start and um, continue with what we can do with it. So, um, the format of this show, you probably know, is to uh, deep dive into to select a project and deep dive into it. Um, I had some exposure to SOPs before, but I don't also know it very well. So we will learn it together, I would say. And yeah, but of course I have some idea about SOPS projects, so I know that it is a CNCF project, CNCF sandbox project. And if we check it here, where is it? Yeah, it's here. So, as the definition says, SOPS is an editor of encrypted files that supports YAML, JSON, ENV, INI, and binary formats, and encrypts with AWS KMS, GCP KMS, Azure Key Vault, Edge, and PGP. So it is a decryptor, so it helps us with security, but it encrypts the files, not just some secrets, but the whole file. But yeah, we'll see how it works. Let's visit the project website. So there's another thing that so it used to be Mozilla SOPS, but it was accepted to CNCF as sandbox project a bit more than a year ago. So it's now under CNCF umbrella as sandbox. So if we visit the website, so SOPS stands for Secrets Operations. That's also another important point. This is the project, or the main project that we'll be doing. And yeah, if you see the bar here, they have a very long README file with a lot of stuff. Yeah, we'll simply go with it. But they already have a short video. Yeah, SOPS encrypts the whole files in that way, and then you can decrypt the file like something like that. But yeah, let's try it. So this table release is on GitHub. I think I have Mac. I deployed it with Brew, I think, but I'm also not sure. But if you want to download, I think they also provide all sorts of binaries here. Yeah. They also provide the cosine signing. So if you also want to check if it is the check its integrity, also they provide the SBOM, so a security project with providing also some other security functions, which is a nice thing. And here, yeah, you can download it for Mac and yeah, I think for Linux as well, and also Windows exe files as well. So you can also run it on your Windows hosts if you need to. So the installation, as I said, I already had it, but I don't know if it's the latest version. Yeah, it's 390. I think this is, yeah, this is the latest version. It's already installed on my local. But yeah, I think the installation is quite easy. You just download it, move it to user local bin or wherever you put your binary files, and then give the executable bit so it can run. And then you can do the verification as well. And if you like to live on the edge, you can also try the development branch. The latest release was on, when was it? So June, end of June. So it's quite new, and the project is like I mean, under development. It's under like people are maintaining it, so it's not forgotten somewhere. So about the README, we already talked about the download stuff, and I think we can go to the usage part. They also provide a YouTube tutorial if you are interested and don't like what I will be doing here. You can also watch this video. Probably it would provide you better insights because I guess it's from a maintainer. But yeah, I will also try to explain it here as well. So if you are using AWS KMS, you can export the SOPS KMS ARN and then also your credentials. I mean, they should be on AWS credentials file. I think, yeah, the first they directly started with AWS KMS stuff. But yeah, simply you will need to export a couple of environment variables, and then you can start editing your YAML file, like SOPS edit YAML file with the path. It will handle encryption, decryption, transmit, and open the clear text file in an editor. Of course, editing will happen with your editor environment variable. It's probably VI if you use the defaults, or Vim. And after SOPS edit command, the file will look like this. So when you check, or when someone tries to open this file, what they will see is that, yeah, there is something for my app1, but it's encrypted. The user password, these are encrypted. So they will be able to see the YAML format, like what sort of information is there in general, but they won't be able to see the values. So the values will be encrypted. The good part is that you can push this file to Git, and then your credentials or your secrets will be safe. I know that some people are arguing against even like pushing secrets to Git repos, even if they are encrypted. Yeah, I mean, this is a risk that you take if you do such stuff. Of course, there is always a possibility to someone get those files and decrypt it somehow, but as you know about the encryption decryption, it's about resources, how much time you spend, how much how what sort of resources you have. So if there is someone really dedicated with a lot of computing power, it could happen. But yeah, it's always a risk, but it's of course way better than pushing those things in clear text format. Also, you can not only for Git, but you can also share those text files like YAML or JSON files. I don't know, with your emails or with your other sort of transportation or communication between other parties. So you can also use SOPS to encrypt and decrypt your secrets. A copy of the encryption key is stored securely in each KMS and PGP block. As long as one of the KMS or PGP method is usable, you will be able to access your data. So what happens here is that, so that's the actual data. That's what your file looks like when it's decrypted. And here there is some information about SOPs. So it says that for KMS, I mean, it provides some values around KMS, which ARN is used, what was the encrypting, and also for VGP, what key was used. I guess this is the public key that's used with the to encrypt this data. So that part is added by the SOPs, and this part is your actual file. Yeah, I mean, I will try to do some testing, or like I will show it definitely, but probably not with AWS KMS, but probably with some other methods. And if you run SOPS decrypt, it will decrypt the file for you. And encrypt the file contains necessary information to decrypt the content. So if you run SOPS edit again, you will see the file decrypted. So that's the idea. So whenever you want to edit it, make changes, you run it with either SOPS edit command and then make changes, save it, or I think there are some other encrypt decrypt commands. SOPS help. Oh, help out was fine. So like we talked about edit an encrypted file. There is decrypt and encrypt options. So decrypts the file and sends the output to standard output. Encrypt the other way around. I think there is also a parameter here in place. So the output back to the same file instead of standard output. So instead of doing like SOPS edit, changes, saving, etc., maybe on CI pipelines you can use encrypt decrypt commands with this in place parameter, so things might be updated there. Okay, going back to the README. Yeah, so when you do SOPS edit file name, the file will be opened, decrypted, passed to a text editor, so by default Vim, but if you set your editor environment variable to something else like Emacs, it will be Emacs. Encrypted, so it will do, if you do any modifications, it will be encrypted again and saved back to the original location. And all of these steps, apart from the actual editing, are transparent to the user. So you will not need to do any other action. SOPS edit will be taking care of decryption and encryption for you. The order in which available decryption service. So as you said, as you saw here, there are couple of decryption methods or decryption methods. So if multiple of them are provided, you can also give an order with the SOPS decryption order environment variable. It's a comma separated list, and the default order is H, then PGP. So it will try H first, and then PGP. So these do not require cloud services like AWS or Amazon. But yeah, it totally depends on how you want to do this. If you want to test SOPs without having to do a bunch of stuff, you can use the example files and PGP key provided by the repository. Okay, let's try this out and test it with PGP key. So let's clone this repo. And my internet connection is not the best, I have to say. And then, yeah, we will need to import the GPG. I hope I have GPG. Or but yeah, okay. Right.
If you wouldn't mind bringing up the font size just a little bit.
Sure.
And your connection is stable, so the video and audio sounds great.
Okay. And almost there. Yes, let's go to SOPS directory, and what was it? GPG import. So they already provide this key. Maybe what was it? PGP SOPS functional key. So yeah, this key is here already. So I will import it. Yeah. As you see, it's from secops@mozilla.com. So we have the key. The last step will decrypt example YAML. So where is example YAML? Is it here? Yes. So if I now look at example YAML, I haven't done any SOPS operations, so just to see how the example YAML looks like on Git repo. So this is the example YAML. So this is the same example that we saw on the README. And as you see, it has all those files, all those values, user password, key, etc. And this command, if I open it with edit, now, whoop. Whoa, Mac mismatch, nice. What did happen? So, PGP. Okay, what about JSON? Okay, at least there's a file working. Let's first check the JSON example.json. Okay, so the JSON file is also similar. Like there is first name, last name, age, address. These are all encrypted on the Git repo. But if I do now SOPS edit example JSON, I have the file itself. So I didn't do anything extra. It just worked just like that. And I want to make some changes here. So age is what? I don't know, 35. No. Okay. 35.4. I saved it. So now there is a diff. Well, so the value of the age has changed. And the encrypted data is changed there. Also, it added some like the last modified stuff. Like those values has changed, and also I think they initially created it with version 350. I have 390, so that's also a change. But here, what? So that part is about the SOPS metadata. But if I do SOPS edit again, I see the change value 35.4. So with the edit command, I don't have to do anything else. So edit will just help me to update any text file, any supported text file, YAML or JSON or ini or something. What else we can do? I also want to so I want to change the I want to roll back now, and I also want to see SOPS decrypt example.json. So with decrypt command, you can just see it on the standard output as well again. So the cat command, the file itself is with encrypted data, but when I do SOPS decrypt, it will do this. And if I do SOPS decrypt, decrypt dash in place example JSON. Now it just changed the example JSON file. So now it's decrypted, it updated in place. So the file is now no longer encrypted file. That might be helpful on a CI/CD pipeline. You just decrypt the I don't know, some keys, and then use it on your pipeline. Then maybe just don't encrypt it again. So that could also be helpful for you. Git stash clear. I don't want those changes to persist. So yeah, back to the example normally. So I think there's something that we can report because the example YAML just did not work. Let me try again. No, there's a mismatch. So probably somebody updated the file somehow, but with some other key, and it just doesn't work. So this was PGP, right? You can also do encryption using H. H is a simple, modern, and secure tool for encrypted files. You can also check its website. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. So it's also a way of encryption, just like PGP. So you can also use that one if you want it. But then, you can encrypt a file one or more with one or more H recipients, comma separated, using the --H option for the SOPS H recipients environment variable. So if you provide one or more recipients with this environment variable, then you can just encrypt or decrypt stuff directly. When decrypting a file with corresponding identity, SOPS will look for the text file name keys.txt located in a SOPS subdirectory of your user configuration directory. On Linux, this would be home SOPS h keys.txt. Yeah, if xdg config is not set, it's $home.config SOPS h keys.txt. Let's see if I have this file. I think I don't. Yeah, I don't have it. On macOS, this would be okay. Sorry. So on macOS, it's somewhere else. I think I need to put this here. Yeah. No, I don't have it. SOPS. No. All right. And Windows also here. Or yeah, I think I used this environment variable in the past. So if you don't want to keep it on the default location, or if you want to have key per project, per different Git repo, you can just set this SOPS h key file environment variable so that this file will be used for at that time, and then if you change the environment on another shell, then you can use another file, or you can directly provide the key itself, not the file, but the key itself with SOPS h key environment variable. So for the pipelines or on your local machine, yeah, you will need to set up or export a few environment variables, and then should be working fine. So the contents of this file should be a list of H identities, one per line, lines beginning with dash. No, not dash. Don't remember this. Like comment out files are considered comments and ignored, just like any other configuration file on Unix. Each identity will be tried in seconds until one is able to decrypt the data. So yeah, you can provide multiple keys, and all of them will be tried for it. So encryption with SSH keys via H is not yet supported. So yeah, SOPs do not support encrypting with SSH key. You need to create those. A list of H recipients can be added to .sops.yaml file. So this file is also important. It will, I mean, with this, you define the H recipients, and then those will be used. As you see, they are comma separated, so that is also important. It's also possible to use update keys when adding or removing H recipients. For example, SOPS update keys, secret and camel. So the following. So if you add, I think, new keys, and then your encrypted file would be updated with new keys as well. So it added a new key, and with SOPS update keys command, it will ask you if this is okay or not, and then it will continue doing it. Yeah, I think it's a good tool. It really helps with the. I mean, in the end, we all need to. I mean, we always have some secrets. It could be database passwords. It could be API keys. It could be cloud provider credentials. Your I don't know AWS credentials or GCP. What's it called? Service account keys. I mean, we always work with those kind of secrets, credentials, and they have to be transferred from somewhere to somewhere else. So either from your local machine to a server, to the pipeline, to Kubernetes cluster itself. Then you will definitely need that sort of tool. There are some others. I mean, SOPS is not the only one, but I think it's doing a quite good job. I won't be able to demo the cloud provider ones, but I can just go over it quickly. I think regarding timing, yeah, we have time. So if you use GCP, you can use GCP KMS. And decrypting with GCP KMS requires a KMS resource ID, and you can use the Cloud Console to get the resource ID, or you can create one. So you need to create some keys on GCP side, or yeah, key rings and keys, and then using this one, this SOPS key. You can encrypt your file. So you just give. So what happens here is that you are saying, hey, I want to encrypt a file called test.yaml. I want to use GCP KMS with this key there, and then the output will be encrypted.yaml, and then you can just decrypt it the same way. So here the important part is that you already need to be authenticated with GCP to run both commands. That's the important part, because once you encrypt it, it will put this GCP related issue, GCP related configuration into the encrypted file, just like it did here. Where is it? So it will be like GCP KMS or something. There will be some information. So this one's for AWS. It put the ARN information. There will be something similar for GCP as well. And then when you just run SOPS decrypt like this, it will just use this data. But then again, you need to be already authenticated with GCP, and it's supposed to work. You can also use Azure Key Vault. I think it is somewhat similar. So there is the explanation here how you can do it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do those, but it is similar. So first you need to have the key vault. You need to have a key on Azure side, and then encrypt using it, and then decrypt again. So it's about which tool to use for the encryption. Again, default PGP or H, which you can just do in your local system. Let's say, I mean, without depending on any cloud provider, or you can use AWS, Azure, or GCP. Encrypting and decrypting from other programs. When using SOPs in scripts or from other programs, there are often situations where you do not want to write encrypted or decrypted data to disk, well, yes, especially for pipelines, you definitely don't want this. The best way to avoid this is to pass data to SOPS via standard input and let SOPS write data to standard output. This is, I mean, of course, more secure because nothing is written to data. But then again, for some pipelines, like CI tools, if you are running on the CI side, for CI tools, this could also be part of the logs, which will be also written somewhere under this. So yes, it is more secure, but I can't say that even this is the most secure thing. It's yeah, if somehow it's logged somewhere, then you need to be careful about that part as well. By default, the encrypt and decrypt operations write data to standard output already. To pass data via standard input, you need to pass dev standard in as the input file name. So please note that this is only works on Unix-like operating systems such as macOS and Linux. On Windows, you have to use the named pipes. To be honest, I'm not a Windows expert, or so I don't know how those have to use named pipes. But simply what they have here for Unix-like systems, you just have the encrypted data, encrypted file. You just decrypt it, send it to SOPS decrypt, but saying that the file is their standard input. For most applications, it's just one dash. Like for example, if you use kubectl apply -f and one dash, it means that get it from standard input. Here they like they prefer to make it more like visible that yeah, we will get the data from standard input, and then this will write it to decrypted file. Maybe we can try this one already. So if I cat the example JSON, so this is encrypted, and then if I put it the decrypt and then directly to, let's say, tmpd example.dec.json. Error dumping file, error emitting binary store, no binary data found in tree. Really? If I do cat this one, it's empty. SOPS decrypt, why did it not work? To control the input and output form, pass input type and output type as appropriate. Okay, so apparently this is not enough. Then yeah, you need to provide the input and output type. So in our case, it's JSON. Okay, dash input type, JSON dash output type, JSON. Okay, if I do cat tmp example, yeah, that also works. Yeah, apparently you also need to provide the decrypt. So you need to provide the input and output types. Otherwise, SOPS is may not be aware of what type of data it's working with. To encrypt, it's important to note that SOPS also uses a file name to look up the correct creation rule from SOPS YAML. Yeah, so yeah, encryption is a bit different. So the decryption was somewhat easy. In terms of the Kube API server securely handles secrets. Also secrets and SOPs when working with kubectl directly through the Kubernetes API. So the
Sorry to interrupt you
secrets.
with that one.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah.
It's also fine. So the thing is that if we are talking about Kubernetes secrets, Kubernetes secret object, of course, we all know that it's just base 64 encoded. It's not encrypted or decrypted. It's just encoded, and when you mount the volume, mount it as a volume or using it as an environment variable, Kubernetes just decodes for you and then puts it like in a clear text format. Um, of course, you can create the secret data. I mean, the data inside the secret as something encrypted, but then you will need to encrypt it. You can create it encrypted, but then you would need to encrypt it. Decrypt it on your application side, on your pod, inside your pod. It could be done with an init container. For example, with the init container, you get the encrypted secret with SOPS decrypted, and then your application will read the decrypted clear text data. You can do it this way, but Kubernetes API itself do not provide any that sort of functionality with SOPs. So you need to take care of this. It can be done with a sidecar container maybe, or with an init container. Again, get the data. Get the secret as encrypted, decrypt it, and then the application will start using this decrypted data. That could be the solution, but there is no solution right now that Kubernetes API provides you with SOPs, at least. George, do you have anything to add to this one? At least I don't know any other sort of integration with Kubernetes API. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for the question, though, chat.
Yeah, it was a good question. I mean, secret encryption is an issue on Kubernetes, as we know. In the end, of course, so when I do the trainings, I always say that, like, secrets are not really secrets, or they are not fully secure in a sense that they are only encoded. But it's also good that they are a separate object, so you can with RBAC rules, you can make sure that who can access those secrets. So you can separate the access to config map and the secret, which is nice. Also, secrets are not written to disk, so there's also a bit more security there. But in the end, when they are mounted to a pod or a container, they are in clear text format. So even if you use SOPs, even if you just with again init container decrypt the information, then within that pod, this information will be in clear text. So someone who has some sort of exec who can exec into the pod, or who can communicate with the pod or containers inside it, would also get this information as well. So the encryption part on Kubernetes, I mean, it requires, you need to be quite careful about the RBAC stuff and what sort of roles you give to the all users. But yeah, to sum up, there is no direct integration with Kubernetes API. You have to take care of it on your side, on your own, with your application, or with some help from sidecar containers or int containers. So yeah, decryption is easy because, easy in a sense that the encrypted file already has the information how to decrypt it. So as long as you have access to this private key, whether in public cloud provider or on your local with PGP, etc., you're good to go. But the encryption is somewhat a bit tricky this way, because um, you need to have this .sops.yaml file, which also has the rules on how to encrypt data. And here it says to encrypt is important. Yeah, the SOPS YAML likely their standard input will not match a creation rule, or only match the fallback rule without path regex. So SOPS provides a file name override parameter, which allows you to tell SOPS which file name to use to match the creation rules. Yeah, here with this one, apparently you can override the .sops YAML file. So this is here to so SOPS will find a matching creation rule for path SOPS YAML in so here instead of dev standard input, it will use this file name to look for a match in the .sops YAML file. So basically, you override the name and send it to SOPS instead of their standard input, something else. So again, if you need to use it this way on the command line, then you need to pay attention to this thing. I will continue, and I think I don't have much time left, but yeah, you can also use Vault, HashiCorp Vault as well. Yeah, I think the a bit more important part, you can rotate the keys. So yeah, PGP keys are, I mean, they expire over time. You need to rotate those as well. You can directly edit with SOPS edit command. I'm sorry. Yeah, with AWS you can provide the profiles, and also you can use assuming roles, etc. on AWS side, and provide the roles. And yeah, for AWS again, you need to provide some encryption context, and key rotation is like, yeah, just SOPs to write rotated file back. So it's recommended to renew the data on a regular basis. SOPS supports key rotation via the rotate command, invoking on existing file calls SOPS to re-encrypt the file with the new data key. So probably this is what we had with the example YAML file. Someone rotated the key, but it's a different one, or it's not in the repo yet. So that's why the example.yaml encryption did not work, but yeah, we kind of worked with JSON. Yeah, I think that part is a bit important, and then I will wrap it up. So this is what the .sops YAML file looks like. So here, the creation rules. So when you do the encryption, here you define the rules saying that for .dev.yaml files, use those ones, those encryption methods. For those files, use this, like KMS or PGP or H. For GCP.yaml, use GCP KMS, etc., etc. So you need to provide SOPs which files will be encrypted, and how what it's supposed to do with those files. And it's something similar, and of course it as the regex. So if you provide path regex, so everything under development will be using this, production will be using this, etc. And I think, yeah, the rest will use like this. This is the catch-all rule. If they don't match, then it will be using this. A different GPG execute. Yeah, you can also do such stuff. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I think I'm almost over time.
Yeah, we are good to go. Let's see if we have any questions in chat.
Yeah, I think that would be so. That's
Thank you,
again
VJ, for dropping by. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think their documentation is quite nice. I mean, it provides a lot of information about what you can do, how you can do things. So if you're interested, yeah, you can just simply check this out and work with it. Yep.
Let me just get you something else for the website. You can find that at getsops.io.
Yeah.
And everything you need will be there. That's where you are right now, right? Sorry, I can't see that. I got a bunch of here.
Yeah, I have it on GitHub, but
GetSops should have everything linked.
I think so, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. You get the final word.
Well, thank you very much for joining and listening. I hope this was informative for the people and help you securing your infrastructure better. I mean,
all right.
There's no 100% security, but one more layer.
Yeah, set yourself up for success.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it for everyone. We will catch everyone next week. Thank you so much.